Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review, this time of the Batman 66 wave from McFarlane Toys, which includes 6 figures and the Batmobile. Now, the Batman and Robin and the Batmobile are all re-releases that I didn't get the first time through. I wasn't collecting these. I still technically am not collecting these, though the swings like the Superman and the Robot Batman made me think, wow, these are really cool. Plus, I did get the Batman headquarters, the Batcave, from McFarlane Toys from Target when it was really cheap, and I thought this would be cool for other figures and things. And by that time, Batman and Robin had already sort of left and they'd become other things. Target did have a convention exclusive, the lunchbox set with Batman and Robin with white eyes, and I didn't like that at all. So I thought, I guess I just won't get them. I didn't want to pay aftermarket prices. I didn't want to go to eBay to get them. So I sort of tapped out. But they re-released them, and I still sort of wouldn't pull the trigger. And then McFarlane Toys gave us the 12 Days of Christmas. On the one day of Christmas, they gave us the Batman 66 set of 6 figures in the wave and the Batmobile for $66. And that was irresistible. I couldn't, that makes all the figures $11 each and a free Batmobile. It makes, or if you factor in the Batmobile, it's just, everything becomes less than $10 a piece. It was really irresistible. And I thought, I really liked the Superman figure and things, but I couldn't justify it. But at $66, I could absolutely justify all of that. Plus, I did hear that the Batmobile wasn't super great. It wasn't maybe to scale. So we're gonna figure that out. I don't know how. I'm not an automotive expert. I'm just gonna eyeball it. But so we have Batman, of course, classic Adam West Batman. We have classic Burt Ward Robin. We have, and it says Batman 66 on it because this Superman is from the comic books. It's not from any of the media stuff. So they've been doing a Batman 66 comic book that continues the continuity of the classic TV series. But by introducing characters that weren't in the series, you don't have to license the likenesses or anything. This is a comic book comic book likeness of Superman, so you don't have to license it. So that's how McFarlane's kind of getting away with going, I have full access to the characters that appear in Batman 66, just not the ones that appear on the original series. You still got to get permission and things like that. So now you have Joker disguised as something. I don't read the comic book, so I don't know what that's in reference to. Lord Deathman, which is a new character in the Batman 66 comics, and Robot Batman, which is completely a robot. I think that head is way too big to be like a human head inside, but we'll take a closer look at that. Of course, everything, there's nothing on the front that says a name, which is irritating. If you're looking through the racks and they're packed, you're gonna have to just sort of swing them out enough that you can see things. Of course, it says the Joker here and Lord Deathman back there, and let me put these down. Robot Batman has some cool jets that you probably put on his legs. I am very curious to maybe read the books that have Robot Batman in them. That would be trippy. But I think that's the point of Batman 66, is that you can kind of do anything in it because it was campy. And this is the Batmobile. This is the re-release. I don't know if there's any difference between this and the first version. Maybe the packaging was a little bit differently. The package is open so that, collectors and kids can get a real good look of what they're getting with that. And that was my entry into the Batman 66 was the Batcave. I have that playset. I thought that was really cool. I haven't opened it, but man, that's something I probably should have done for this. Ah, well, but it's a very cool And I didn't get the Batmobile or anything else, but I thought, you know, those would all be cool together. I just waited for these things to go on sale, and some of them sort of sold out and never came out again. But I wasn't interested in the Batmobile. I have a giant Mattel Batmobile that I think is 6-inch scale that I bought a long time ago and never opened. But I'm going to open this Batmobile. We're going to take a close look at it. And we're going to take a close look at all the figures. So let's do that now. Now that they have all been taken out of the package, let's take a closer look at them. First, let's start with their accessories. Lord Deathman is holding his sword, but other than that, nobody has any accessories on them. So let's start with the Joker's key. The Joker has one really big hand and one closed fist. Neither one of them hold the key unless you really balance it in there really well. But it doesn't sort of hold onto it. So you can't pose it in different positions. You have to sort of pick a position where gravity sort of makes it work. And that's it. That's not really I don't know why the accessory doesn't really fit, but that's okay. The boot thrusters for Robot Batman rather, are really cool. They plug into his boots on the bottom, so it looks like he's flying. I might show that later if I remember. And of course, the original 2 figures, Batman and Robin, came with automatopoeia bursts. Came with these little wham and bam little signs you could clip to their wrists or their feet if you could pose them kicking somebody. Batman, of course, has the pow and the kapow, because he's Batman and he gets the pow and the kapow. And Superman comes with a sort of a bundle of kryptonite and a single crystal of kryptonite, neither of which he can hold. He has one fist and one sort of straight out flying hand. And I don't know if Batman could hold the kryptonite, but it's not really a question that I need answered. So let's take a closer look at each of them, starting with the Joker. Now, again, I don't know the origin of this version of the Joker. The Joker's in some sort of disguise. Maybe he's a Batmite or something. But he has kind of the Joker playing card belt buckle. And he has, it's obviously the Joker, but with kind of a Batman mask with the green highlights instead of the blue. And he's got the purple cape, so maybe he's disguised as kind of Batman in silhouette. Maybe he looks like Batman. He's got the kind of the Harlequin puffs that sort of hang over. I don't know, but he is pretty cool. He's a good size. He's heavy, so he stands really well, even if you can't get his feet quite flat. But most of the figures you can't get their feet quite flat, and they stand up pretty well. Though some of them took a little bit of balancing. There's not a lot of articulation to them. So that is the Joker. I'm going to put him over here. I say he was easy to stand. He's being a jerk now. Lord Deathman comes with a sword, which is really cool. The sword is nicely made, pretty straightforward. I don't know what he does in the comics or anything, or if there is a DC Universe equivalent, like he's made a comic book appearance outside of Batman 66. But it looks like a costume a villain would wear. Just a skeleton guy with a belt and things, just terrorizing Gotham City. He's got the cool black cape, and the skull head is really cool. And he'd be a good army builder with that skull head if you could just find some maybe henchmen or something. And that is Lord Deathman. Robot Batman has a lot going on, from all of the intricate little devices on him to kind of the boots. The rivets on the gloves are really nicely done, really nicely made. The rivets here, the little antenna here, the bat head that's way too big, that maybe Batman Adam West's head is inside of, because this is definitely part of the robot and not a human being. but inside of it could be a human being, maybe. It's got cool little discs at the waist. It has a bat utility belt for the robot. That's very cool. And like I said, the boot thrusters clip right onto his boots, so you can fly around. Bat robot out! Whoa! Robot Batman out! Whoa! Whoa! Sorry about that. And that is Robot Batman. Now let's take a closer look at Robin. Robin is just classic all over. From the shirt, where the colors are just perfect. And the cape, the collar on the cape is just perfect. And the mask and the hair. Just a great likeness of Burt Ward. A great representation of that character from the television series. Just a really cool, a solid figure. Just a wonderful figure. I don't know why I skipped it. I guess I just didn't want to get another collection. But in this wave, I get a little bit of everything. I get Batman, Robin, a Batmobile, Superman. You know, it's really cool. And I feel like I can stop here, says the action figure addict. I'm going to move him over. Do Superman next. Because Superman is sort of the one that I never expected, mostly because, you know, Christopher Reeve, you have to get the rights for, and he doesn't fit into Batman 66, or into Batman the TV series, but he does in Batman 66. So you can license him. DC can use that likeness because the only likeness is the comic book likeness, which has got to be really nice. And it's a really solid Superman. I love the S. And it's just, I would love to have it looks like a Christopher Reeve Superman costume. It is just perfect in just about every way except for the head. And the cape, of course, kind of goes around his neck instead of just sort of draping back behind him. But other than that, it's a really cool figure. The kryptonite pieces are really cool. That's a really nice touch. But yeah, the Superman figure, you know, I don't have any comment on the likeness. Could look like that in the comics. The hair's a little weird, but again, it's not Christopher Reeve, so I don't have a lot of complaint about it. And last but not least is Batman. Batman is just classic too. Has that Adam West body, which was really cool. It has the bat belt with the bat logo, just like the robot Batman has. And the colors are perfect. It's just perfect in every way for the Adam West Batman. That likeness is really good. The cape, again, just like Superman's cape, kind of goes right over. On Robin's, it does too a little bit, but the collar hides it. So this one doesn't hide it so well, but it is a really good figure. Now let's talk about the Batmobile. The Batmobile is the most, I'm going to say the most famous car in the world. I'm saying that, I'm like, oh man, is it? I think it's the most recognizable car in the world. I'll say that. Most popular, maybe not, but it's really cool. It moves really nicely. Of course, the hubcap bats aren't red, and the printing on here is off center. You can see how the red doesn't completely fit into the white, doesn't completely outline it. You can see how the head is a little more on the right than it is the left. But it's not bad as far as the detail goes. It's not something that makes me like, ugh. But that side is perfect. The driver's side is perfect. But let's face it, if you're going to photograph your Batman and Robin figures in the Batmobile, chances are you are photographing it from the driver's side, from Batman's side. The rest of it, the colors seem like they are not stickers, but it seems like they're painted on. And it's a really nice job with the striping all the way around. Really nice. And I love the texture. The turbine could have used maybe a little hit of color, or could have used maybe a blast effect. But I get that would have been extra. So I'm happy with that the way it is. The parachutes, the pipes in the back are cool. One color, that's fine. For the price of this, you're getting a ton. There's not a lot of detail on the inside. There's the siren on the inside, but there's kind of a panel here. The red, I don't know if the red phone is the Commissioner Gordon's phone. And let's see, there's the fire extinguisher and the little lever that they can flip. It's a little bit of plastic. I doubt that they can articulate to pull on that, but it's very cool. I don't remember what that thing was. Is it a sensor? I think the sensor in the cartoon, or not the cartoon, but in the series, I think this pops out and kind of spins around. It's a sensor. You see that there's gadgets on the dashboard, and I don't know how accurate that steering wheel is. It could just be Ford Futura accurate and not Batmobile accurate. I'm not sure. Because I'm not really sure if you do... The Batmobile is built on a Ford Futura, so I'm not sure if you have to license Ford... If you have to get a license from Ford to do a Batmobile. But very cool. The grille is really cool. The details are cool. The headlight is really cool. It's just really amazing. Now let's put our figures in and see what we think. Okay, these guys are sitting with their butts on the seats, and they are sticking out over the window, and their arms don't completely fit in. I'm sure I could stuff them in, probably, but I don't like it. And also, I got the capes to kind of stick out over the backs, Super Friends style. They can flap in the wind if they want to. I think this Batmobile, for how inexpensive it is, I think you're getting a lot for, I don't know, I think for it's very little money, and you can always pose the figures next to the Batmobile. It looks passable when they're standing next to it, but when they're inside it, it's obvious that they are much too big for that vehicle. But here's the thing, like, McFarlane has been taking some big swings at this stuff. And whether it's this or the Michael Keaton Batmobile, I like that he's going, let's throw in a vehicle. And people are going, well, how do we do that? Well, let's make it a little bit inexpensive. Let's make it work. And it works. It's nice. I don't want to throw a whole lot of shade on something that we haven't really gotten before, something that's really nice, something that I essentially got for less than $10 through McFarlane's store's generosity during Christmas time. So they gave me a great bargain for Christmas, and they give me joy all year round. So I'm trying not to throw some shade all over it, but at the same time, I get it. I did hear the complaints from people who said, the figures don't fit well and it looks a little awkward, but it's a Batmobile and it looks good with people standing next to it. It'll look good in your Batcave. It'll look good on your shelf with the figure standing near it. I think it's a great toy. And I was real lucky that I got a second chance at it because I'd let the first one go by. So hopefully you can grab it. Go to McFarlane Toys or McFarlaneToyStore.com or wherever finds toys are sold, and see if you can get a Batmobile and a Batman and Robin to go with it. That's at the very minimum. You should have those three things. They are super cool. So until next time, enjoy your toys.